India is third largest education system in the world, holding supremacy in myriad fields from mathematics to astrology, literature to science, culture to conscious and super science. India is a power bank of energetic youth. Moving forward, we have our next keynote session on how India can be the education powerhouse in the next 10 years. I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla, Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Noida, to deliver this session. Dr. Shukla is the Vice Chancellor of Amity University. She has over 22 years of experience in organizations such as Shimnit Group, Intera Software, IIHT Systems, and Amity Group of institutions. Dr. Shukla's core competencies include establishing new business, HR planning, recruitment and development as per business needs and processes establishment. To her credit, she has presented many papers in seminars and at conferences conducted at national and international levels. She has organized over 150 seminars, conferences, and management development programs, and Dr. Shukla is also the chairperson of more than 20 committees within Amity and outside. Let's put our hands together for Dr. Shukla.
Good morning. Thank you very much, PG, for inviting me for this very important event empowering the emerging world. The COVID pandemic, I would say in many ways, have become the transformation of many businesses, including the education sector. When the pandemic lockdown was announced in March 2020, nobody knew that how to handle the situation, and nobody knew that how long it's going to be there. And I would say, thanks to the technology, we were connected even during the lockdown. Till that time, though as said that 1982, the PC Quest and all launched. Our former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi ji brought the technology into this country, but education was the one sector. Technology, though the internet came very early, but it was not in all universities, all education institutions, and still we were all board and chalk education was used in many institutions, universities, colleges, barring the premier one, the IITs and all. But it was only after the liberalization, slowly, some universities, some colleges started adopting the technology. But the pandemic time, institutions were not fully ready, and that I can see that the academic session in the higher education institutions, the academic session 2021 did not start in majority of the university on time. Though every institution, every university was trying their best to adopt to the technology, there were a number of issues. It was only very few who could use the technology from day one and start the academic session after completing the academic session 1920, and start the next academic session on time, because that institutions were not prepared for such a kind of the large technology deployment. Institutions were not ready, that especially their faculty and staff, how to use the technology, and it took time for the institution to build that kind of infrastructure. And today, when we see in last 2 or 3 years, we see any institution across the country are well prepared, with the technology, and they can what the quality of the course you get in Delhi NCR, we will get the same in the remote area of the country. That's what the change and the development has happened in last 3 years. But then there's again challenges are there. If we really India want to be the powerhouse of education, India was sometime the powerhouse of education, and now also the India has a potential to be the powerhouse of education and all the global guru. Only the few things which need to be done, and the NEP 2020 has given that vision. If truly in all senses the NEP 2020 can be implemented by the schools and especially the higher education institution, there is no power which can stop India becoming the powerhouse of education. So what is today that the challenge the higher education institutions especially are facing? That how to understand what the industry is requiring, because the employability at the end of the day, employability is the key to that educated youth can be employed. Employment does not mean the job in the industry. Employment means the starting their own venture. How that kind of the training be provided to the youth? So it has to be now the customized education, then the one uniform education for every youth. When I say the customized education means the understanding what exactly a student needs, would like to do after completing the program, say the BTech program, or maybe the BBA program or BA program or BSc or any program for that, so that the student is prepared at the higher education institution for that aspiration. So therefore the moment any student enrolls is important, the higher education understands what is the need of the student. Then customizing the education as per the need of the student. Suppose the student want to go for the corporate career. It's important to understand what kind of corporate career. And therefore the skill, the job role inventory, the job sectors inventory, job role inventory, and the skill sets needed for each job role, that inventory has to be there. As per that requirement, what should be the curriculum? What kind of the courses the student should be learning? There is no need to learn something is not relevant to the job or the future career path, and therefore customizing the curriculum, which is called the personalized learning. That has to come, and that can only come with the technology, because if we are not deploying the technology for the students, understanding their aspiration, understanding their goals, one uniform syllabus will not help the students to learn what they want to learn. And they also understand what kind of the industry needs the people, how they can pick up, rather than going to the 100 of institutions for recruitment. How can they get that which is the the youth or the skills are needed, are available in the market. Therefore again deploying the technology becomes very important, where the institution can share with the industry. We have got these many the graduates passing out from the university, and these are the skill sets, and you can have the online test for the judging the students' competency level, and only if interviews need to be only the select students interview to be conducted. I think the NEP 2020 has given the solution to this, that up to 40% courses a student can do in the online mode. But are the universities ready to offer the 40% of courses? And that has to be the relevant courses. We see today the Coursera and so many online courses have come in the market, but how that courses can become a package for specific skills and competencies? How do the universities or the higher education institution identify? Therefore it requires much more industry academia collaboration than what has happened till today. Every day I get so many edutech companies. We offer this course, that course, or we have this solution or that solution. But I think the edutech company also need to understand what the higher education institutions need. In 2020, when the pandemic started, and that was the time when all the institutions were about to go for their end semester examination or annual examinations, and everybody was searching for the online or digital platform for conduct of the examination, but there was not a single digital platform which could meet the requirement of the industry. We had our own platform we developed, we used our platform, but parallelly we said let's take the third party platform also. We tried one platform after seeing the so many, and that platform also did not meet our requirement. We tried another platform in the next semester. Parallelly we said okay, if we can have, because already having the 11 universities, campuses in more than 16 countries, and so we needed one uniform system. If we can get a third party which can meet our diverse requirement of the examinations, and because we were conducting the examination for the admissions also, so we are looking at which can meet our requirement. So therefore we found that these edutech companies need to understand what exactly the universities require, and each university has its own very, very specific requirement. So therefore, though we have seen the so many, more than 1,000 edutech startups have come during this time, some are able to meet the requirements, some are not. But if we really want to become the powerhouse of higher education, edutech system has to look at what the school system needs and what the university system needs and what the industry needs, how they can bridge the gap. Unless you bridge that gap, will not happen. Earlier the curriculum used to be developed once in 10 years, then came once in 5 years, then once in 3 years. Now the curriculum need to be reviewed every semester, because so many changes are coming. When the campus recruitment happens, the company came, no, we need this requirement also, we need this skill. How the university system can become so dynamic that it meets the requirements. Therefore, the one is the set curriculum, how to be an engineer, but above that, the core syllabus, you need to have the value addition sessions, skill based sessions, customized to the individual student's requirement. So therefore you have to offer the basket of value addition courses where the industry people can come and train the student for specific job roles, a specific sector with the specific skill sets. If that does not happen, higher education institution will be churning out the graduates who are not employable, and that has been the big challenge for always, because the industry always said what the higher education institutions are producing, they are no good to us. That I have been hearing for last 30 years. But that gap I have been hearing even today, despite having the technology. And that gap filling, if we really want. And also, I think the changing that in our times it was only the job, whether it is the government job or the corporate job. But today it is, students don't want to go for job very easily. We have seen in last 5 years, because we started this survey of the students for last 5 years, the aspirational survey. There was earlier that 100% students used to say they are looking for a job, and today we find that 40% of students are saying we don't need the job from the campus, we like to have the opportunity to start our own venture. So therefore the education institution has to create that setup, how to support how to generate the ideas from the student, how to support those ideas, and how to bring those support system which can guide, mentor the student for their startups, so that you can have the more startup that can only happen if education institution create the research and innovation infrastructure, the culture where the student have freedom to work as per their choice. They can pick up the time whether they want to study in the morning or in the evening or afternoon or whichever way. How that flexibility can be given, technology plays again very important role. And unless that technology and the and the curriculum and the aspiration of the students brought into the center, I don't think that India can really become the powerhouse. If we have to make the India as a fully developed nation, and the economy of the nation has to rise to many folds, then education is the only source of bringing that skill set, bringing that the talent who can start the ventures, and that only will be creating the employment opportunities. Having the existing corporates, and we think those will create all the opportunity. Not, they will create the opportunity, but we need to have the more businesses, we need to have the more organizations. Therefore the startups are very important. I'm so thankful to the so many the organization in this country who are supporting the startup, whether we have the in the form of angel investors or creating that kind of the environment. For example, the TIE, which was started by Saurav Srivastava ji, Pradeep ji and all, I think that has helped a big way the youth, creating that awareness of starting the own venture is the better option than the going for the corporate career. So I think also that we need to, because globalization is coming, and as per the NEP 2020, having the global exposure to the student, I think for that one need not to go to abroad to have that global exposure. How you can collaborate with the international universities, how you can have the online student exchange, how you can do the online joint projects, group projects, all those things. And we experimented this in last 3 years when the pandemic was that it worked wonderfully. The students coming from the different universities, from the Australia, from UK and USA or Taiwan and from India, they are working on a project together. So you can have the students online at the different time zones and finding their own mutual convenient time. So therefore the faculty need to have the very open mind. How can I create that flexibility for the student to work with the global community? Because technology can give that opportunity, so you can reduce the cost of travel, you can reduce the time wasted in the so many things, and that's how even the rural India can have that opportunity for the interaction with the best of the teachers from any part of the globe, as well as the working jointly with the student, and that will give the kind of the learning. And I think that's the way the industry can play a very important role. That's the way the tech startups can play a very important role. Another aspect which has, again, the NEP 2020 has come, the research has to be integrated component of undergraduate programs as well as the postgraduate program. We at MIT already have said out 40% of the every course will be the professional skill development activity course, where the student can do the, depending upon his choice, he can take the research based projects. So 40% time has gone out of the curriculum working on self-paced learning on the any kind of the research project. Also 40% time the student have got now for the doing the online courses, the MOOCs courses, which are the NPTEL and the AICT and the so many. The only thing the universities need to do the course mapping, so that they can award the degree at the end of the day the student for the, with the credit transfer. So education institution need to work a lot. Many of the universities have progressively have done a lot, and I think pandemic, that we say, has been the great opportunity for everybody to transform from the physical mode to the digital mode, and this starting cannot stop. It will be progressing, and I'm sure that what the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister is, and also that the India to be the global guru, that is not far-fetched, that surely we will be getting. And I congratulate all the award winners who have with the survey of the data quest have gone, and I'm sure that even some have not won, but it is a learning for that what we need to do more to come in that elite list. So many congratulations all, and I would like to do congratulate Pradeep Gupta ji for doing all, taking these initiatives, and your initiative of 1982 as we can see how much the difference it has really made to the economy of the nation and to the industry, all industry, including the education sector. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for those really kind words.